Hello everyone, it's the last day of term, hooray! It's also Maundy Thursday, and the word Maundy comes from Latin meaning commandment. So what commandment are we thinking of today? Well, on the night before he died, Jesus had supper with his friends, and he did a most unusual thing. He knelt down and he washed his disciples' feet. Now, to have your feet washed wasn't unusual, but it was the job for a servant to do. And when his disciples asked him about it, he said, "Well, you call me Lord and teacher, and that's what I am. But I'm also a servant, and so must you be too." And then during the meal, he gave thanks to God and he broke bread. And he said, "I want you to do this. And when you do it, remember me. Remember that I gave my body for you." And then he drank wine and said, "I want you to do this too. I want you to remember that I spilled my blood for you." And those were his commandments. And those commandments are still going on over 2,000 years later, when Christians meet together to share the body and the blood of Christ, to remember him, that he gave his body and he shed his blood. And we call this gathering together the Eucharist or Holy Communion or Mass. It's all the same thing. Now, after he'd had the meal, he took two of his disciples and said, "Come and watch with me." And he went to the Garden of Gethsemane, and there he prayed to his Father. And he asked his Father if it was possible, could there be another way of doing what was going to come? But then he said a most profound thing. He said, "Yet not my will, but yours be done." So what he was saying to God was, I know that it's not going to be good what's going to happen next. And if it's possible, could we do it another way? But actually, I need to do it your way. Your way, your will be done. Then he went back to his disciples who had fallen asleep in the garden. And they went out, and Jesus was arrested by the authorities. He was arrested because he'd been betrayed by one of his disciples, by Judas Iscariot. But Jesus knew that Judas was going to betray him, and he still loved him. What an amazing, amazing man Jesus is. Now, tomorrow is Good Friday, and we talk about the things that happened to Jesus. So please come and see me tomorrow, because it's a really important day to know what Jesus did for every one of us. Until then, the clock's just rung. Until then, goodbye, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Bye.